shots out of here.
Catch and fire. It's on the. He made it. Oh my.
Hello everyone and welcome back onto the campus of Huntington University. It's a cold, dreary day, but the Foresters off to a happy start. They won the first game of the doubleheader against IU South Bend. I'm Preston Husband alongside Ryan Holzapple and a bunch of other people up in the press box. And we had a great first game. Foresters victors 12-1. They're looking to move to 2 games over 500 here in game 2. And it's been a fun start for this young team. Their offense is what has really driven the ship, I guess. I guess you don't drive a ship, but they've kind of leaned on their offense, and it's led to a lot of productive at-bats, and that was the story again in Game 1, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, that first inning they got 4 runs, 4 RBIs. I mean, they were hitting it great, getting it to where they wanted. Then in their second inning, they scored even more with 5 and got to an early 9-0 lead and really put the pressure on South Bend, and they need to continue to do that in this next game.
And the Foresters got another complete game from a freshman who has done that in her first 2 career games on the mound. Emma Patton was lights out again, and of course, when you get a 9-run lead early, it's easy to go out there and compete and throw a lot of strikes. She did just that. In Game 2, the Foresters are going to be leaning on another young pitcher. It's going to be the lefty Natalie Hazelby from Columbia City, Indiana, who will be responsible to get this Game 2 rolling. And initially, it looked like it was going to be Carly Franklin, but if they can get some really good innings out of Hazelby, then that allows maybe Franklin to go tomorrow against a tough Indiana Tech team as well.
Yeah, you always want to save some of your better pitchers for harder games, and Hazelby can be a solid pitcher here, prove herself for the coach, and provide another good game against South Bend. I mean, she might get even more games.
Hazelby, this will be her 4th appearance on the mound this year. She so far is 0-1 with a 6.18 ERA, just 5.2 innings pitched, so not a ton of time out there. But let's go ahead and introduce the defense around her as well. As you can see, the Foresters are wearing black jerseys, but a lot of the players out there with the pullovers on. The temperatures went within the 40s, and it's spitting rain. But around Hazelby in the outfield, it's Hines, Tharp, and Moore from left to right. And on the infield, it's Duval, Nigella Reck at short, Chloe Gregory at second, Courtney Mason again at first, and Maddie Goheen doing the catching. We're ready to roll. Game 2 underway as Hazelby delivers too low to the leadoff hitter, Maddie Leisure. She did the catching in the first game. She'll do the catching in the second game. Leisure from the right-handed side got hit by a pitch in Game 1. She reached base that lone time. I believe that was Peyton that hit her. Well, it had to be Peyton because she threw all 5. So Hazelby starts with a 2-0 count. The lefty gets the signs and now rolls through the windup. There's a strike to the left side. Nigella Reck scoops it up, makes the throw over, and quick work of the leadoff hitter Leisure.
Yeah, it's great defense from shortstop there, Nigella, who, like you said, is a dual athlete here on campus. She was part of the volleyball team that you announced earlier this year, and great play from her.
Reck, another young player on this team. I mean, you're going to hear that all day long as Hazelby delivers a strike. Natalie has not had her best stuff on the mound yet, but still limited innings, just 5.2. And if she can be the 4th option or 3rd option on this team, who knows how far this team can go as Moore roams back and makes a nice running catch. And Hazelby filling up the strike zone early has 2 quick outs.
Yeah, I mean, she's been really accurate so far. I mean, it's led to 2 hits there, but she's letting her defense work it out for her, and HU's off to a great start.
Tell you what, we've seen it so far in these first 2 games that we've been able to broadcast today. The outfield defense, as you're going to see it again, Moore unable to get to that one. It's been rock solid. This could be 3 bags, as it's going to be. It's going to be a stand-up triple with 2 outs here from Josie Raymer. She's the center fielder for IU South Bend, and she greets Hazelby with a opposite field triple.
Yeah, it was a great hit. I mean, it's kind of lobbed right up into right at Main Street, and she just ripped it out to right field. It was a great hit.
We've seen a lot of hitters in these games today going the opposite way, kind of going with the pitch. And both sides have been successful with that, especially the Foresters in game 1. The Titans now on the year just 3-8. HU over 500 at 6-5, looking to get one win better here and sweep the season doubleheader against this South Bend team. The last time these two teams met was 2 years ago, and these two teams split that day 1-1. This one's lifted high to left field. Hines going back, the wind pulling it back to her, and she's able to make the grab. There's some of that outfield defense once again. It's a scoreless first for Natalie Hazelby. We'll be back and see if the bats stay hot for HU. It's a scoreless first for Hazelby on the mound, and now the Foresters will be taking on a right-handed pitching Abigail Yarnell, getting the start in game 2 for the Titans. She's making her 6th appearance on the year, 2-3 record, 6.72 ERA over 25 innings, 24 earned runs, so a little bit of an up and down start for her, and it'll be Casey Hickel that starts things for HU, and the top of the order did a lot of damage in game 1. They're looking to do the same thing here early and keep the bats hot and hopefully get off to a start like they did in the first time around. Yeah,
Yarnell's going to have a tough group to pitch against here to start off in this game. I mean, like you said, they started off really hot in the last game, and we'll see if they continue to do that or if Yarnell puts a stop to it.
So Yarnell will get the ball for game 2. Around her in the outfield from left to right, Allen, Raymer, Larson. In the infield, we'll swing it around the horn. Douglas, Baker, Watts, Patton, Leisure, the catcher. Hickel, the batter. Yarnell, the pitcher, ready to roll. First pitch, Hickel takes high. Hickel kind of set the tone for HU in game 1. She had a long at bat, fouled off pitch after pitch, singled it. Hit a single right up the middle, and the Foresters never turned back, just kind of had the foot on the gas pedal and took care of business.
That's what you look to for your lead batter.
Hickel stands in and once again sees a pitch too high. Count is 2-0. Hickel's having a great start to her collegiate career. Well over 300 on the year. Was on base a few times in game 1 and in control of this at bat as she slaps it left side. This is going to be a tough play. And Hickel with the speed able to beat the throw from Baker. There's another single from the leadoff hitter, Hickel.
She's picking up right where she left off in that last game.
That's the benefit of having a slap hitter. You see Hickel kind of gets that running start, chops at it, slaps it to the left side, and because she gets that running start, it's hard for that long throw from Baker to get there in time. And Gina Moore, who kind of does the same thing, up at the plate now. Moore looking to bunt. It's a good one right in front of home plate, and it's back-to-back infield singles for HU's two lefties at the top of the order.
What a start there for the offense here. I mean, got two people on base on first and second, and chance to maybe get a run here if you get it in the outfield.
So Douglas couldn't quite get that throw off in time, and Moore uses the bunt. Look at that replay we got going now as well, just adding different things to the broadcast. Here in game 2, Courtney Mason's going to try the same thing. Yarnell fields. That is in time to first, but it's a sac bunt for Courtney Mason. And now two Foresters already in scoring position with the hot hitting Bree Hines up.
Yeah, I mean, that is a perfect play. I mean, if you give up one out for a chance to get 2 runs, and if a good hitter hits a single here.
Hines had a really great first game. She nearly left the yard to right field. Now she's got a chance to pick up some RBIs. She was looking for 2 on that first swing, but it's a foul ball down the right field line. Bree looks pretty locked in at the plate right now. She's ready to swing every time she gets her 2 feet in the box. And we've seen her make some really great defensive plays today and left as well. She's tracking the ball well, and it's not a super easy day to track. Sometimes, well, of course, with a baseball, it's tougher. With the white baseball, with the softball, obviously easier to see, but with the wind whipping in, she's had to adjust and has done so nicely.
Yeah, wind makes it a lot harder.
Pitch, Hines hits it hard through the right side. That's going to score 2 as it gets past the glove of Watts. Hines hits it hard. We'll see how it's scored, but right now it doesn't matter. It's a 2-0 lead for HU.
This is exactly what they did in the last game, and they're continuing to do it here. Let's see if they can continue to put on the pressure.
So you play a little small ball, Ryan, there in this first inning, and it works to perfection as Hickel and Moore are chased home after that hard ground ball. And Bree Hines hits it hard again. She picks up an RBI, maybe 2. It does look like it's going to be a single for her, so 2 more runs knocked in as Hines hit it really hard right at Watts, and that gives Jess Duvall another chance. Pitch outside. Duvall has arguably been the hottest hitter on the year so far, hitting right behind Hines. I mean, that's a really good duo right now in the middle of this order.
Yeah, it's a really good 1-2 punch, especially if you get runners on base, and good chance to score.
Duvall hits it hard left side. This could be 2 if the Titans are quick. They're not quick enough. They do cut down Hines at second base. So Bree Hines is erased. Duvall will be on first. That'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice. And now Chloe Gregory has a chance to keep the inning alive. It's so hard to turn a double play in softball with the bases being so close to one another. First pitch up and out of the zone. Gregory, someone trying to find her bat at the moment. You always know what you're going to get from her defensively. Super solid in the middle of this infield. She can get her bat going. She's just another sophomore in the lineup that produces a ton for this Forester squad. Gregory hits one softly left side. Shortstop again. Throw over. Baker was busy, and she takes care of the side. That takes us to the top of the second. Forester's off and running, up 2-0 when we come back. We're back at Huntington University, and right now the Forester fans excited about another hot start. And man, you talk about these Forester bats being relentless so far this season. Now in the first inning in both of the games today, they've combined for 6 runs, and that just puts your opposition in a tough spot, having to fight back the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's always good to start off hot as it puts the pressure on the team, like you said, and HU's looking to ride that pressure that they're putting on South Bend to the win again.
Hazelby delivers first pitch strike. She had a clean first inning. Second pitch is up too high. This is Jordan Watts, second baseman, who had a couple of opportunities on defense in the bottom of the first. Right-handed swinging Titan at the plate. Hazelby, lefty pitcher, delivers. That one's hit hard left side. Nice pick by Reck. Throw over, and Mason finishes it off with a nice pick across the diamond. So back-to-back great defensive plays there for HU. Reck to Mason, 1 out.
She's done that twice. She finished the Titans' offensive inning in the first with that exact play there, and she starts it off here as well.
And Reck is someone that hasn't always got a ton of playing time here in the early season, because usually it's Maddie Duvall cruising out in shortstop, but Reck adding a little pressure maybe there, obviously in a good way. It's competitive pressure within the locker room and team, and right now Hazelby is continuing to work well, and that's the right place to have your opponent hit it. as Moore is a great defender out in right field. Now 2 quick outs for HU.
Yeah, she's fast out there. She can always get to the ball no matter how or where that the ball pops out. So we'll see if the HU defense can continue to do well here as Hazelby's has a great start.
Ground ball right side, diving play, and a great play to finish the inning there by Chloe Gregory. We just talked about her defense, and the Foresters with a quick 1-2-3 response. It's Chloe Gregory ending the inning. Foresters coming back up. It's an early 2-0 lead in the bottom of the second for the Huntington University Foresters. It's Preston Usman and Ryan Holzapple on the call for game 2. He called a game and a half today. So. But we've got a full production here for game 2. And, man, it's been a long time since we've been able to get softball on the air. And these athletes definitely deserve the attention they're getting and the broadcast that we're bringing. And we hope to do this a lot more throughout the season.
Yeah, this was a goal from FDN Sports, was to start doing some more broadcasts on softball, and we're doing it here.
Nigella Reck steps up and looks at a pitch too far outside. Reck has had a great start to this game defensively. See if it bleeds over into the offensive end now. Righty stands in. The 1-0 pitch down too low, and she's in front of the count. 2 balls and no strikes, and our broadcast will continue to get better and better. We'll add some aspects. We'll have the hitter's average, the ERA, once we can plug in the Presto stats, and that might not happen today, but it will happen in the future, and then you guys won't have to be worrying about me telling you all the stats all the time, right, Ryan?
Yeah, put a little bit less pressure on you.
Yeah, no joke. You don't have to study as much. Reck waiting for the 2-1 pitch. Here it comes, and that one looks like a breaking ball that goes a little too far outside. Maddie Goheen waits on deck. Carly Tharp to follow. That's the 3 guaranteed batters for the Foresters here in the bottom of the second. The sign and the pitch. Right down the middle. The count's full. We also like to do this on every broadcast we do, Ryan. If you're watching, tell us where you're watching from, who you're watching. We'll give you a shout out. You know, some people like that, so.
Ross shouted me out before.
Yeah, I heard that. Ground ball right side, picked up, and a quick throw over by Watts. Retires the first batter of the inning, and now Maddie Goheen will step to the plate.
Next up to the plate, your catcher, number 2, Maddie Goheen.
Even though that resulted in an out, you could see Rex still trying to go with that pitch. I mean, the opposite field approach by HU today has been tremendous. They're going with the pitch every single time. Goheen takes strike 1. She had her first hit of the year, and it was a 2-run single in I believe it was the 4th inning of the first game today. And this time, she's hit by a pitch right on the helmet. And that's one way to get on base.
Yeah, I mean, you'll take any way you can to get on base, so the Foresters will take it for sure.
And that right there is why softball players have to wear the mask on their face, because obviously with the underhand pitch, the ball rises and it's much easier to get jarred in the chin or the nose, and that's a requirement that's been made from all, I guess you could say, organized women's softball. Have to have that mask on so you don't lose some teeth.
Yeah, for sure.
Pitch hit up the middle, and that one's going to sneak into center field as now Tharp has another hit. And she continues to produce in that 9 spot in the bottom of this lineup.
That was a perfect shot right up the middle. defender couldn't get to it. It's a great hit.
Yep, just out of the outstretched reach of Baker, and that flips the lineup over. It's Casey Hickle who will hit from the left side. We saw her with an infield single to the shortstop her last time up. She waits in. Here's the pitch. Looking to maybe square around and bunt. It's ball one. Does look like someone wants to shout out, Ryan. Let's see who it is. It looks like Jack Patton watching from Cambridge City, Indiana. Watching Jayla Patton, who pitched really well in game one.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in, and hope you're enjoying some FDN sports today, as that one's fouled straight back. It's now a 1-1 count on Hickle. Casey Hickle is just continuing to play at a high level in her freshman campaign. Already has 3 hits today in the 2 games. Looking for number 4 and looking to add on to the scoreboard. It's been a party for the offense for the Foresters in their home opening doubleheader. Pitch is missed up and in. Counts 2-1. Now I think, Ryan, a big part of it is HU is not going out of the strike zone. They're swinging only at strikes. They've got the right approach, and everything has been rock solid for them today.
Yeah, their offense has been very dynamic so far in these 2 games, and it's helped them a lot.
2-1. This one's hit right side. It's going to be a foul ball. Count now at 2-2. Take a look at how the Foresters got their runs in that first inning. It was an infield single for Hickle, a bunt single for Gina Moore, a sac bunt by Courtney Mason, and then Bree Hines had a 2-run single, and that's where we are right now. 2 runners on, first and second for HU, and the order is flipped over. And it looks like the pitcher, Yarnell, wants a new softball. Can't quite tell if it's still dripping rain out there, but that was something that the pitchers were dealing with in the first game in the last 2 innings. Pitch, slap to the left side. That is going to split the gap and go all the way to the wall. The race is on for HU. Hickle is into second. It's a 2-run double, and the Foresters double their lead.
And Hickle does it once again. Like I said, her 4th hit in both of these games. She has been incredible leading off for the Foresters, and we'll see if she can continue and maybe even get to home here.
So it's Hickle already 2 for 2 in this game. She is really dominating right now as a freshman. I mean, you talk about athletes have a big adjustment to make when they go from the high school level to the college level. She's fitting right in and really doing it just about as good as anyone on her team. Moore, fake bunt, steal again, and no one on the backside there as Hickle's going to be able to sneak back in. We saw that in game 1. I actually got a text from Coach Aaron Ayler saying I did not put that play on, so that was a complete guess, but maybe still a little rusty through the signs through the first 11 games. Here's the pitch. That one's swatted to right field, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Foresters are circling the bases. Moore looking for 3. Hickle in. It's a stand-up triple back-to-back. Big knocks for HU, and this is exactly what they did in game 1, out to a 5-run lead.
Yeah, like you said, keeping the bats on fire, that's what they have been doing so far in this game. They're off right back to that hot start that they had in the previous game, and they do not look to be slowing down anytime soon.
Take a look at what the top 2 in this lineup have done already in just an inning and a third. You have Casey Hickle, who's 2 for 2, 2 runs scored, and then Gina Moore has a double and now a triple, and she's looking for maybe a cycle if she can pick up a single and a home run. Tough to do on a windy, cold day like today, but man, HU has come out swinging. Got a couple more people who want a couple more shouts out. Carmen Frankel, watching from McCordsville, Indiana. That's Carly Franklin's mom. We believe Carly was slated to start game 2, but the Foresters felt comfortable sending Hazelby out there. Franklin will probably get to start up in Fort Wayne tomorrow against a great Indiana Tech team. So thank you for tuning in, and we hope you're able to watch a lot of Carly's games with us this year. And then one more, Brad Fisher, tuning in and checking out FDN Sports. We appreciate your compliment, Brad, and hope you enjoy the rest of this one. Hopefully we have enough light to finish it.
Yes, hopefully.
First pitch, DeMason was fouled off to the right side. Gina Moore waits down at third. HU trying to add on. And a good take by Mason on that breaking ball, too far outside.
Yeah, like you said earlier, they're being really good about only swinging at strikes and being hesitant on outside throws, and they've been really good about that.
Yarnell with the windup and pitch. Mason hits it to the right side. She's going to be out, but it's a productive out as she adds on another RBI to her total. It chases Gina Moore home, and with that 4-3 put out, HU already up 6-0. I mean, this is almost a carbon copy of what they did in that first game.
Yeah, I mean, 4 runs here. They had 5 runs in the second inning last game as well. So they're right where they were and looking to start well.
Hines pops it straight up in the air and in shallow center. Raymer makes the grab, and that will take us to the third frame. It's all HU again, up 6-0 when we come back.
This is how we like to do it.
Well, during the break, Ryan Holzapfel said it. Inning number 2 is the inning of the Foresters. They now, in 2 second innings today, have scored 9 total runs. They're up 6-0 in control again.
Yeah, and you got to credit their pitching and then their offense. Their pitching has kept South Bend to 0 points in both of the second innings and the first innings of both of the games, and they're, like you said, 9 points. I mean, they're doing everything.
First pitch, Hazelby fires too far inside. This is Reese Douglas, who's playing third base here today. The hot corner, some call it. There's nothing hot about the weather today, though. Spitting rain and a little windy here, but better than yesterday, as that pitch is up and out of the zone. Hopefully, cross your fingers, HU's back in action tomorrow at Indiana Tech. There is some rain in the forecast there as well, as this pitch is a good changeup. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-1. Hazelby pitching some crucial innings for this team right now. That saves Franklin for tomorrow. And then not quite sure who number 2 will go, as that's a single off a hit to the left side. Nigella Reck tried to reach up just off the top of the glove. Leadoff is on. That's Reese Douglas, who steps right in and picks up the offense.
Yeah, like Nigella's activity on defense so far in this game. I mean, she's had 2 big outs in the first 2 innings, and right there almost got the ball there and just slightly too high, and you gotta love her activity.
Caitlin Allen, now lefty, steps in. First pitch up and out of the zone. Coheen doing a great job back there. She's caught both games here today. And Courtney Mason was doing a lot of the catching last year, but now with Goheen kind of taking over that role, Courtney's able to play a more natural position down at first base. And that it just kind of gives HU some more depth around the infield and on the team. I mean, got players that can play several different spots. That gives you a lot of good chances to change that lineup up.
Yeah, versatility is huge for this Forester team.
Looking to bunt for a hit. And a big secondary by Davis. Able to get back in time. Allen took upstairs for ball 2. 2-1 count. Leisure, the leadoff hitter, waits on deck. This South Bend team looking to get right back into this game. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Hazelby on the outside corner. Count now 2-2. Talk about how unique this Forester pitching staff is. They don't strike out a ton of batters at all, but man, they get outs, and that's really all you want from your team is staying alive. There's Allen. And I would argue that Franklin is the strikeout pitcher on the staff. So we see that. But these other pitchers, if they can come in here and be efficient, I mean, that's something to watch the rest of this year.
Yeah, and that's what Emma did in the previous game, and that Hazelby is doing really well here in the second game, is just pitching, being consistent, getting the ball in the strike zone, and trusting her outfielders and infielders to get outs.
It's a little different route than what their head coach did, because she struck out a ton of batters during her time at Huntington North and at Kentucky. But either way, you get outs, and that's all that matters. But the first two on here for IU South Bend, as that is swatted up the middle. Caitlin Allen has a knock, and that's back-to-back hits. And now that brings up the lead-off hitter, Leisure, to the plate.
That was a great hit right up the middle, right out of the reach of Nigella Reck there, and they have first and second base loaded.
There is an arm getting loose down the left field line in the bullpen for HU. We'll take a look, as that one's a foul ball. It would have been a double play and a good one, but just went left of the bag as Jess Duvall was ready to put on a highlight show there. Man, talk about the instincts on that one. That's why they call it the hot corner right there. You got to be ready to roll. But it's just foul off the bat of Leisure, and for IU South Bend, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, save yourself 2 outs.
That one hits Leisure. That's the second time she's been hit today. This time looked like it might have been on the elbow, and all of a sudden it's bases loaded, nobody out for IU South Bend.
It's part of baseball and softball, is a possibility of getting hit, but if you're a player, you've just got to take it and roll with it.
And it looks like that Leisure is a little slow to get up down at first base. Her head coach and now the training staff for HU going to give her a look. Those hurt a little extra on cold days like this.
Yes. Cold always makes you a little bit more susceptible to pain, so those will hurt a little bit extra.
So we hope for Leisure's sake that they're going to be able to clear this up. But she did take a good hit, it looks like, on her forearm or elbow of her left arm. And she's in some serious pain down there at first. And that's also going to, it looks like, bring out Coach Ayler, who right now wants to calm down her lefty on the mound. It was smooth sailing in the first 2 innings, but right now Hazelby in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, she has bases loaded right now. She's just got to calm down and just throw a couple of good pitches and get her team back in this.
It looks like Mollenkoff is warming up in the bullpen, and she might be getting ready to come into this game. This is another freshman that's been stellar in her first year at HU. Not positive that she's coming in, but she was definitely getting loose quickly, as Coach Ayler will have a chat with her entire infield. As the hitter, who was hit by a pitch, is going to sub out of the game at the moment. Of course, she's the catcher, so they can courtesy run for her, or pinch run for her. But Leisure is going to get checked out a little further. That elbow is a tough spot to get hit in.
Yeah, especially with softball and a baseball. I mean, those hurt really badly. And then, like you and I said, in the cold, it hurts even more. And it's a very sensitive area, so definitely see why she'd be in so much pain.
So Hazelby's going to stick it out. It'll be Taylor Larson who comes up to the plate. Bases loaded with the Titans right now. Hazelby, very capable of getting out of this inning. And right now, it's not about limiting the Titans to no runs. It's all about damage control and just keeping this game in favor of the Foresters.
That's all you can ask for. I mean, runs are a part of softball, and I mean, you won't always have a perfect game, and it's very rare if you do, but you just got to stay strong if you're Hazelby and keep pitching.
Here comes the first pitch. Swatted right side. Gregory right there to snag it, and there's one of 3 outs to try to get out of this jam. A hard hit ball, but Gregory, the wrong person to hit it to.
Yeah, she's a very strong defender, and she will grab that.
So that'll bring up Josie Raymer. Her first time up, she tripled. And if she does that now, HU Doesn't want that. Ground ball left side. Rhett goes to second. Gregory on to first. Not in time. It's a 6-4 put out. And just like I said, Ryan, if you can just control the damage, get out of this just giving up one, you feel good about your scenario.
Yeah, especially when you had to pitch with bases loaded. To only give up one run is huge.
So Leisure cut down at second. Over to third goes Douglas. And scoring the run there was Caitlin Allen. So she scores the first run of this game. Douglas still on third. And Raymer over at first. As mentioned, Leisure, who was hit by a pitch, out at second. Job's up to Jayla Pat now to keep the inning alive. Pitch. That's too low. Great block by Goheen. She's been really solid back there.
Yeah, there's been a couple wild pitches that she's caught and controlled, and she's been huge and like you said, the damage control for the Foresters.
Hazelby checks the sign, now delivers the pitch. That one's popped straight up in the air. The wind blowing it towards the line, and it causes trouble as Gregory can't make the catch. And HU hurts themselves a little bit on the defensive side, as that's the second run for IU South Bend.
And pop flies are very hard to deal with on these windy days, as the ball gets blown around all over the place and you think you're in the right position and it gets blown a little bit out. And you just got to keep moving with the ball if you're the infielder or outfielder.
So it's Allen who comes home to score. All the way over to third goes Raymer, and then Patton now at first, as that's the first one that gets by, but the runner from first to second is the only one that's going to move up. That last play is going to go E4 on Gregory. Then all of a sudden, now two runners in scoring position, and IU South Bend just a hit away from making this one really interesting. Up too tall, the count's 2-0.
It's something that they weren't able to do in the last game with only, what was it, one run throughout the entire game, and they're putting some pressure on here.
Hazelby trying to get out of this inning. Here's the pitch. That one's popped up right over our heads. Goheen gives it a look, but we'll run out of room. It's now 2-1. Hazelby working through the signs once more. The pitch. That one's hit hard left side, foul ball as the Foresters dodge a bullet there. It's just a long strike as the count is now 2-2.
That would have been a disaster for HU there, as it would have allowed them to cut it down to 2 and possibly get a double there. And lucky break for the Foresters.
Looks like it is raining just a little bit out there, just trying to pick that up. We really appreciate our cameramen and women on days like today when they have to stay out there and give us some of the great looks. Hazelby, 2-2 pitch. Line drive into left field. That gets down. 2 runs going to score. And just like that, it's a 6-4 game as IU South Bend is stormed right back into this game.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what teams are looking to do after a tough loss in the first game. They're going to look to bounce back, and that's what South Bend is doing right now. They're playing their best softball of the night so far, and they're going to continue that if HU doesn't get on track.
So Watts with a 2-run single, and it looks like that might be the end of the night at the moment for Natalie Hazelby, as Mollenkoff is going to come in and see if she can get out of this third inning. We'll keep her right here and try to give you an update on Mollenkoff. She's one of those freshmen that has been a really solid piece in this recruiting class here for HU. Kinsey is 2-0 with a 3.16 ERA over 4 appearances. She's a gritty pitcher. That's the definition that Coach Ayler gave. She's not going to get a lot of swings and misses, but man, she battles hard, and she is a good piece on this team.
Yeah, they have a lot of good freshmen. Like what we were talking about in the first game, the amount of talented freshmen that all of the teams here at HU have this year is truly astounding. And I mean, Bailey Kellum was huge, but as we said, I mean, we'll see what Mollenkoff can do here, but they have some really great freshmen that can be a part of their bright future here.
Mollenkoff from Logansport, Indiana, did her high school pitching at Caston, And she's making her 5th appearance for the Foresters, trying to get out of a jam. It was 4 in the bottom of the second for HU, 2 in the first, and now 4 in the top of the third for IU South Bend. Mollenkoff right away delivers a strike. That's a big swing and a miss from Baker. She was trying to tie it up with that one.
Right down Main Street, and just a little bit slow on the swing.
0-1 pitch. That one is below the zone. Count 1-1. Jade Baker, the shortstop, trying to keep this rally alive. It's been a nice comeback by IUSB. Pitch. That's too low. Count now 2-1. 7 batters so far for IU South Bend in this 3rd inning. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch down in the bottom of the zone there against Baker by Mollenkoff.
All she's got to do is get 1 out, get out of this inning, and AHU can drive home a little bit more offense in this next inning.
Ball lifted to left field. Hines going back on it again. The wind takes her to her left, and she's able to make the grab. Another great play by the left fielder for the Foresters. IU South Bend strikes for 4, but HU still leads when we come back in the bottom of the 3rd. Welcome back to Huntington University. Foresters still leading 6-4 in the bottom of the 3rd. And HU at 6-5, looking to move to 2 games over 500. They get right back into action tomorrow, and their bats have been in action all day long, Ryan, as they're trying to extend that lead once more.
Yeah, I mean, their offense has been there, but in that last inning, their defense was not, and that's something that they really hit home in that first game. Was they had great defense. I mean, their infielders were getting all of the outs, and their I think it was Emma Payton that pitched really well in that game. Hazelby struggled a little bit in that inning, but we'll see if the offense can make up for it.
So Jess Duvall will lead off the bottom of the 3rd. It's still the same pitcher on the mound as Abigail Yarnell delivers. Ground ball left side, and she's able to poke that one through for another hit. And Jess Duvall keeps doing what she's done all year long so far.
Was she the one that had the sack bunt in the first one, right?
That was Courtney Mason, actually.
No, that was Courtney Mason. Okay, I'm switching it up there a little bit. A good hit from her there.
That'll bring up Chloe Gregory. We've already seen her defense on display in the first few innings. Now she'll have a chance to do it with the bat. As Yarnell delivers from the windup. A bunt dropped down by Gregory. Foul, strike 1. Gregory gets the signs off of that wristband from Coach Aaron Ayler. And now Yarnell's pitch. Another bunt. This one dropped down in front of the plate. Yarnell picks it up, makes the easy throw over. It's a sac bunt for Gregory. Moves Duvall up to second. And now it'll be up to Nigella Reck to knock her in.
That's what you want to do. You want to get your runner that was on first into scoring position. And Gregory did just that and did exactly what the coach wanted her to do.
Reck, her first time up, grounded out to second. This one's too low. That's going to move the runner up to third now as Duvall was ready to run and now not too far away from being knocked in by Reck. HU has played small ball here this afternoon, and it's worked out in their favor so far. Yarnell sets and pitches. This one's hit hard right side,
What a
chasing
hit.
into the gap. Goes the right fielder. On her way to second goes Reck. And it's an RBI double for Nigella Reck, who is picking up the offense here right back at IU South Bend in the bottom of the third.
And that's what they need to do. I mean, after a rough defensive inning, you got to answer right back with offense, and Nigella Reck does just that. That's huge for HU.
Reck has had a great afternoon, subbing in for Maddie Duval in this game and the last game as well. Just shot that pitch to right center field. There was no chance for Larson to catch that one. And, man, that had a different sound off the bat as well. That was really well hit.
Yes, it was.
Goheen now waits in. First time up, hit by a pitch, came around to score. This time, stares at a strike. Count is 0-1. Offense has been on point today for HU. Goheen ready to roll. Here's the pitch. That one stays too far outside. Count is 1-1. Next time HU will be here at home will be on the 16th. That'll be against Marion. They'll be playing within the Crossroads League at that point and hoping to build off of their record from last year. Punch to the right side. A couple of Titans giving it a look, and they're going to run out of room. Count is 1-2.
A bit of a power swing there for Goheen, and she hit that one really, really hard out of bounds.
Yep, Goheen trying to go with the pitch again, just couldn't quite get that top hand through to shoot it down the right field line. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Again, checks her swing. This time fouls it off in front of the Titans dugout. Count stays 1-2. Goheen, the catcher, has her first hit of the year in game one today. Hit by a pitcher last time up. Starting to get on base a little more often is the catcher for HU. Pitch down too low. Great block again behind the plate. Keeps the runner at second base as Leisure is able to smother that one. These are not fun days to block the baseball. You get all the mud and dirt on it. Makes for a messy afternoon behind home plate. Pitch. Up and out again. Now the count's full. Another one of these extended at-bats by HU.
Something that they really worked with in that first game and kind of drug the energy down of the South Bend pitchers, and that's what they're trying to do here.
Full count pitch. Lifted into shallow, I guess, not right field. It's going to stay in the infield as that one's caught for out number 2 by Patton. That's a pop out to the first baseman. Now 2 down, and Carly Tharp's going to try to keep it alive. This is what I like about Tharp being in the 9 spot, though. She is a really solid hitter. She almost serves as like a second leadoff, and she has been dominant at the plate today. Tharp waits in. Here's the pitch. Up too high. Count is 1-0. Tharp, her first time up, singled, came around to score. She is ready to roll at the plate. Anytime she steps in, she's been first pitch swinging a lot today. That time she saw it go too high, and now she's in a good hitter's count at 2-0.
I mean, if she can get on base here, she's followed by Hickel, who's had an absolutely tremendous night, and HU could really get something going there.
I just think you're in a really good spot if you have Tharp at your 9-hole hitter. I mean, she's really talented to be hitting that low in the order. But I think it's purposeful because you get speed and then you put Hickel behind her who makes a ton of contact. Something to watch. 2-1 count. Tharp trying to keep the inning alive and trying to extend the HU lead. Still Nigella Reck out on second, who had a double to the right field wall. Yarnell's pitch. Tharp takes it up and out. Count is now 3-1. Hickel, as Ryan mentioned, waits on deck. She's already 2 for 2 today with a triple and a single. Excuse me, a double and a single. A triple would push her just a home
Yeah.
run away from the cycle, though.
Yeah, for sure.
This one's hit hard down the left field line and foul. Count's going to move to full. I think it's still really early in this game, but this is a big upcoming pitch for IU South Bend because they're trying to stay within striking distance. And with Mollenkoff in the game now, you know, you kind of have a different arm. It's a big pitch early in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they finally got back in the game with the 4-run inning. Let's see if they can stay in.
That one's outside. That'll flip the lineup over as now Hickel will step back up to the plate for the third time in 3 innings.
See if Hickel can go 3 for 3 here and get HU maybe a RBI or bases loaded.
Hickel's, with those 2 hits, has 2 runs scored as well. So she's been a main part of this offensive explosion in game 2. Pitch. Hickel hits it hard left center field. Roaming back and able to make the catch is Raymer, and that will end the inning. Foresters get one more back. They're up 7-4 when we come back for the top of the 4th on FDN Sports.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Back at Huntington University, the Foresters up 7-4, and the starting pitcher is at the plate now for IU South Bend. Abigail Yarnell steps in, and it's Kinsey Mollenkoff who's on the mound for HU, second pitcher in this second game for the Foresters. Freshman got out of the jam the last time, and now she tries to have a clean inning in her second inning pitch. Ball ripped down the right field line. That is a fair ball directly on the line.
What a hit.
This could be a triple, and it's going to be as Yarnell, the starting pitcher, helps herself out with the leadoff 3-bagger.
And just like that, South Bend is right in striking distance. Like you said, they kept it close on defense, and now their offense looking to tie the game, maybe even get ahead.
That was a perfect place there on that pitch. It actually landed directly on the line, which if you watch a lot of softball and baseball, you know it's a fair ball. So on basketball, of course, it'd be out of play.
Yeah.
Here it's in play. Pitch out too far as Reese Douglas is back up to the plate. The bottom of the order has really done a lot of the damage today. Yarnell with a triple. The 2 behind her, and Douglas and Allen have a single each. So they've done a lot of work at the bottom of their order.
Yeah, I mean, when the top of your order is struggling a little bit, you look to the bottom, and they've delivered for South Bend, and they're making this a competitive game.
Mollenkoff down 2-0, delivers. That's too high, and now it's 3-0. Douglas singled her first time up, came around to score. Allen waits on deck. 3-0 count. Mollenkoff trying to keep the Foresters in front. Here's the pitch. That one is a strike, and swinging at it was Douglas on the 3-0 green light. You don't see that too often.
Oh, I mean, I think that was a little bit too much of a strike to not swing at there. I mean,
Yeah.
that was right down the middle.
3-1 pitch on its way. That one's right on the outside corner. Count all the way back to full. Reese Davis trying to pull her team a little closer, and before this pitch comes, Maddie Goheen wants to go over the strategy. We are running out of daylight here at Huntington University. It's 6:11, sunset right around 6:37. So we will see how many innings we can get in tonight as Goheen will go through what pitch she wants Mollenkoff to throw with both Aaron Rethlick Ayler, and Troy Rethlick, her dad, who's an assistant coach here. Full count pitch on its way. Hit right side and right at Gina Moore. Runner unable to tag up and score. That's a good way to take care of the first out of the inning as it keeps the runner on third base, and now HU just 2 outs away.
Yeah, I mean, you do not want South Bend to get any closer because then that puts pressure on your offense. And, I mean, their offense has been pressure-free for most of the night, and they want to continue to have it that way.
That'll bring up Caitlin Allen. She singled her first time up, takes a pitch right down the middle for strike one. Allen also scored a run in the third inning. Already hitting here in the fourth. Pitch. That one's outside. Count is 1-1. I think it's been a really great strike zone behind the plate. There hasn't been too many wild calls. Everything is very consistent here in game 2. Pitch. Again on the inside corner this time. The count is now 1-2. If she can get out of this, HU's got a ton of momentum.
Yes.
1-2 pitch from Mollenkoff. Fouled off left side. A couple of Foresters give it a look as that goes out of play. Count remains 1-2. And it looks like Carly Franklin now getting loose in the left field bullpen just in case this one gets a little closer. Coaching staff would love to save her arm. Of course, it's not as big of a deal in softball because more natural motion, don't get as tired. But they would prefer to keep her loose and ready to go tomorrow up in Fort Wayne. Pitch. That one's hit up the middle, off of the glove. Reck comes up, makes the throw just in time. A tremendous play by Nigella Reck, and the Foresters will gladly give up that run for out number 2 in this inning.
South Bend gets ever so more closer there with that little run there, and it's only a 2-run game now.
So you take a look at that. If you're having fun with a scorebook at home, you would write that one down as a 1-6-3 putout because it technically touched the pitcher. So that's a fun one at home. If you like scoring at home or you're keeping your scorebook, you can add that to it. You don't necessarily have to, but that one's on the outside corner, strike 2. Because if a pitcher touches it, it's technically a part of the fielding.
Yeah.
As it's a 2-strike count. Here comes the pitch. Outside, 1-2.
Looks like the rain might be coming down a little bit more here as the night gets a little bit later.
I'm not sure what the NAIA rule is, as that one's lofted to the right side over the top of Gregory and down for a hit. HU couldn't collect that one, but you'd think it'd be after 3.5 innings would be a complete game, since technically that's a full game. I'm not sure how the NAIA softball works. So, I mean, if you play 7, you'd think it's 3.5, but it's actually 5. How about that? So we'd have to get through 5 innings. We're close, but not quite there as that hits the top of the zone. So I would think if HU gets through this inning, they lead heading into the top of the 5th and get 3 outs, then it'd be an official game.
Yeah.
It's technically 4.5, but it's into the 5th. So that's something to think about as we're getting some rain and running out of light. It's 0-2 count. Larson at the plate. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Pitch outside. Throw down to first. Not in time. Mollenkoff. 1 inning pitched officially, 1 earned run. Trying to get through an inning and a third now. Here comes the pitch. That's up too tall again. Count is 2-2. Two pitch on its way. Fouled off to the right side. Count's going to stay 2-2. You can see both teams, that's been the approach all day long, just a little behind the fastball, but purposefully going with the pitch, knocking it the other way, and it's led to a lot of extra base hits, and that's really where most of the offense, there hasn't been a ton of balls pulled in this game.
Yeah. I mean, if it's working, you don't go away from it. Like the old famous saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep, spot on. 2-2 pitch. That one is just outside. Count was full. It was off the plate, it looked like, from behind the pitcher's mound. See if Mollenkoff tries to go right back there, though. The payoff. Right down the middle, a good changeup, but able to stay alive was Taylor Larson. She was fooled, but smart of her to at least get a bat on that and stick in there.
Yeah, that's all you got to do as a batter is keep getting the bat on the ball, and eventually you'll get on base, or you get walked to base.
Yep. So she keeps it alive. We'll see if she can pay it off for HU. They're trying to keep a 2-run lead. 3-2 pitch. That one's hit hard right side again. It's going to go out of play, and count's going to stay 2-2. A great at bat here by Larson at the top of this order. This IU South Bend team has definitely made the pitching staff for HU work a lot harder in game 2. Pitch again on the outside corner, lifted out of play, and same spot, same result, same count.
Yeah, like I said, they keep waiting a little bit longer to swing, and it keeps going to that right side, and they continue to go to it.
Here comes the full count pitch again. Swing and a miss. A great spot there by Mollenkoff. She gets out of trouble, and the Foresters will take the lead with them to the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss. We swing it to the 4th. HU coming up.
JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean, efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
Welcome back to Huntington University. The Foresters still up 2. We've reached the bottom of the 4th. The Foresters will start the inning with Gina Moore at the plate. She's 2 for 2 with a single and a triple on the day, as the top of the order has dominated this ball game so far. And we'll see if Abigail Yarnell can settle in, and for her team, it feels like IU South Bend has a little bit of the momentum because they kind of been pulling back, scratching back. But, man, HU can answer right here with a couple of runs and kind of put that fire out with the bats. First pitch down low to Gina Moore. It's kind of 2 similar hitters right at the top of this lineup. Pickle and Moore both like to go the opposite way, both kind of slap hitters. And they do a really nice job getting everything started for this lineup. There it is again as it's lined up the middle and right on cue. 3 for 3 on the day is Gina Moore, as she is scorching hot at the plate right now.
Her and Hickel, they are doing their work for this team, and they have been huge in why HU has the lead right now at 7-5.
If you watch Gina Moore swing, there's just not much that could go wrong. She's straight to the ball. She's willing to pull it, as we've seen with a triple. Actually, her triple is the other way, excuse me. But she just stays right on plane, hits the ball up the middle and the left side a lot, and it's working right now for her. And now it looks like that IU South Bend might be looking to make a couple of changes. And we'll wait and see what they are, as they're going to run through the lineup card and make sure we've got everyone in the right spot. See, maybe not on our home plate cam right now, but you can see a couple of fans out in right field. braving the weather today, and a lot of Forester fans down to our left. I actually even saw Aaron Ayler's little baby Griffin in attendance as well with her husband Paul checking out some softball, and they've got to be pretty happy with the results so far, as there's going to be another change on the mound for IU South Bend. Take a look and see who's checking in. It's Jayla Patton, who pitched in Game 1, and she did a really nice job. She's trying to stop the bleeding, and we saw her late in Game 1. She was excellent on the mound for IU South Bend.
Yeah, she was terrific in keeping HU to not score as much as, they got the first 9 points in the first 2 innings, and then once she started pitching, they only got 3. It's just that the offense couldn't get it done for South Bend, so they've been playing really well.
Jayla Patton stepped right in out of the bullpen in Game 1, kind of shut down the Foresters' offense. She did give up a few earned runs, but really, after the starter kind of struggled, she was able to come in, kind of chill everything out, and she kept her team in the game for a little while, and that's her job right now with Courtney Mason stepping up to the plate. Mason so far today is 0 for 1. She has a sac bunt and a ground out to second base. First pitch from Patton. Mason looking to bunt again, and this time it's foul. Strike number 1. Courtney Mason is off to a little bit of a slow start compared to her standards. Usually a really solid hitter right in the heart of this order. She's working to get back to that at the moment. She pops one up to the right side. And a tough play and a great play on the run there by Larson as she's able to track that down. And I think that was going to be a fair ball. It looks like if that drops, that's trouble. Larson has made a couple of awesome running plays out there.
Yeah, and that's what your outfielders are supposed to do, and that's what you have them for. And Larson doing exactly what Coach wants her to do.
I'd argue she's been by far their best defender today. She's made several plays in that general area. She made one up against the fence in the first game, and she's a really great outfielder and batting second in this second game. She's been all over the place. 1 down, Bree Hines back up to the plate. 1 for 2 in the second game as she hits this one soft right side. It's going to be a tough play. Flip throw over in time. That's Watts to it was Patton, but switching it up, a new first baseman. We'll get that in just a moment. It's 2 outs, and now it's up to Jess Duvall. I guess with Patton on the mound, it can't be Patton at first. So it's Johnson over at first now. She switched over when Patton went to the mound. And now Jess Duvall has the job of trying to add on to this lead and keep this inning going.
And you like Duvall being at the plate, as she has delivered, I think, a couple times in both games here, and we'll see if she can do it again.
Yeah, Duvall already with a single and a run scored in her last time up. Takes a change up there. Duvall kind of looked like she may have leaned into that one. I might be on the side of IU South Bend's coaching staff here. Not that we're cheering for IU South Bend at all, but she might have an argument. Take a look here. Duvall was nearly standing on the plate.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Tough call.
Raise your on-base percentage any way you can. She did that with the hit by pitch.
Looks like the umpires are going to talk about it a little bit here.
And, honestly, the field umpire would have had the better look at this.
It did look like she leaned a little bit to get into that, which
also if you're going to get hit by a pitch, you might as well get hit by that one because it was a change up coming in there really slow. We'll see if they change it. I would be surprised, but I've seen some crazy things on replays this year as well.
The replay has been really good this year. Saved a cut. They've made huge calls and reviewed huge calls in basketball games this year, and they may be huge in upcoming baseball games and softball games as well.
Yeah, I also don't know the rule for NAI as far as replay once we get into conference season. I don't know if softball uses it. I know that baseball is going to potentially use it, but we'll see if that ever comes into effect. Here comes the pitch. That one is a foul ball off the leg of Gregory. So they're going to keep Duvall at first. It's a hit by pitch. And we are getting nearly out of our window of light here.
Yeah, it's starting to get dark out.
No overhead lights here at the softball field yet. I mean, might be something we see in the future, as that one's outside. We saw it for soccer this year for the first time ever at King Stadium. Got to call the inaugural game under the lights at King Stadium. Ladies and the men's able to play over there. A couple of our ladies doing scoreboard here today. Pitch. Lifted, left field, hit hard and right at the left fielder, who's able to catch it in her tracks. That's Allen, and that's the end of the inning. Head to the 5th frame. HU holding on to a 2-run lead when we're back.
To me, Forester Camp is fellowship.
To me, Forester Camp is like engaging.
To me, Forester Camp was inspiring.
I hoped that I would be able to make more friends who have not really been around much.
How I describe this camp is pretty chill and like fun.
And it's fun too. It's something that like people can be engaged in and have a great time, but also still learn life lessons and lessons about the Bible, kind of see the world from a different perspective.
Fun every single day, and you meet a lot of new people. It's pretty judgment-free because everyone's all in the same boat.
You don't really have anything to lose by coming to the camp. I think a lot of people are scared to take that risk. I could promise you that you wouldn't be bored or not have a good time here.
Something only happens one time in the universe. It never happens exactly the same. So like, you better take your opportunity while you can.
Back for the top of the 5th, it's still Kinsey Mollenkoff on the mound for HU. She'll be facing Josie Raymer. 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Hit a triple back in this game as well. She's up 2-0 in the count. And for the Foresters, this is an important inning because with light running out here, you want to make sure you make it an official game with the lead and maybe pick up your 7th win, as there's a hard hit ball past Gregory. It's going to go all the way into the gap. Raymer's thinking 2, throw from Moore, not in time, and it's a hustle double for Raymer, and she's in standing up.
And right now, South Bend in another opportunity to score here and bring it down to 1.
So this is where I think the wheels start spinning for Coach Ayler and her staff. I think this is where maybe you start getting Franklin warmed up again, and maybe if you run into trouble, you go to your best arm to close it out. We'll see if that's the thinking. Of course, this is a non-conference game, so it's not as important, but if you're in a spot to win win a game, I think you take it, and I think Coach Ayler would think the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Swing and a miss. Of course, if it gets too dark, though, your pitcher's got the advantage of the batter not seeing the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, once it starts getting dark, it's harder to trace the ball in the air and makes it a lot harder on the batter.
1-1 pitch. That one is in there for a strike. Also, if you're watching the broadcast, it looks a lot lighter on the camera than it does in person. That's always something you see on television and a computer screen. Got that iris wide open. Ground ball left side. That's a fair ball. Throw over, and I think the batter thought it was foul because she wasn't getting down the line super quick. It's a 5-3 putout and a great play by Jess Duvall.
Yeah, that's a great play. I think you're right about the batter not thinking that it was a good hit, but
yeah,
stayed in.
Looked like Patton almost slowed up thinking that ball was foul. The Foresters will take it, though, as there's strike 1 on the next hitter. At the plate, Summer Johnson. That's not right, is it? Trying to make sure I got the number right here. That's Jordan Watts at the plate. Make sure I'm staying in line there as Watts hits it to the right side. That's a foul ball as Gregory was trying to run it down. Counts 0-2. Watts, so far today, has a single. 1 for 2 in this second game. Runner in scoring position. Mollenkoff trying to get out of an early jam. Pitch. Outside, counts 1-2. Mollenkoff looks to the wristband and now delivers. Too far outside again. Back-to-back misses outside of zone. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kinsey with the pitch. Hit hard left side. That's going to drop in front of Hines. She's able to get to it quickly, keep the runners on the corners, and now the tying run on first base is HU's up 7-5, and this is where you start to maybe roll the dice, think about making the change, but it looks like Kinsey Mollenkoff is going to try to finish this game for HU.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they want to keep Franklin as fresh as possible for the next game against a tough Indiana Tech team, and hopefully Mollenkoff can finish it out here.
Pitch down too low, ball 1. This is Jade Baker at the plate. She's 0 for 2 with a fly out to right and a fly out to left in this game. Pitch. Lifted out of play. Counts 1-1. Kinsey Mollenkoff looking for an extended inning shutdown save here in this game. Pitch just snaps too far inside. Count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. That one is too high, and now it's a 3-ball, 1 strike count. Nice thing is about this new addition to Huntington University Athletics as well. If you're driving by on the highway, there's no question you can see the new scoreboard as it is bright out there in left field.
You know, always make sure we know what the score is.
Yeah, if you're a big softball fan, you drive by heading to dinner, you know whether the Foresters are in front or not. Mollenkoff's pitch. Swing and a miss, a big strikeout by Kinsey, and now she's just 1 out away from getting out of the trouble with the leadoff double to start this inning.
Is that her second strikeout of the game?
Yep, strikeout number 2.
That was really nice. That was really good for Mollenkoff.
She's thrown 50 pitches. She's trying to get her team out of trouble and keep her freshman campaign rolling as she delivers first pitch strike to Yarnell. Her last time up, she had a big knock, a triple to right field. So it's actually Summer Johnson up at the plate. I'm all over the place at this point. I did well all day long, and now I'm struggling as Johnson steps in.
This is why we have them. They're there to correct us.
I know. So a lot of changes between the two lineups. Pitch, hit right side past Mason. Hard hit ball, runner up to second. Johnson with an RBI single. And now with 2 runners on, the tying run is now in scoring position.
It's down to a close game here, 6-7, and chance for them to tie with 2 outs remaining. They come down to this right here.
Raymer comes in and scores. Watts up to second. And Summer Johnson with a hard ground ball has her team within 1. Reese Douglas at the plate. She was ready to swing, came up empty on the first pitch.
She's had a couple of those where she just throws them right past the batter, and man, she's had some good pitches.
Pitch number 2. Jam shot to Mason. Tough play, able to pick it up, makes the tag, and the Foresters get out of trouble, and they'll still have the lead. It looks like we're heading to the bottom of the 5th. HU up 7-6 when we're back. We're in the bottom of 5. The Foresters still lead 7-6. It'll be Jayla Patton who's back on the mound. She's going to be working in her 2nd inning here in game 2. And we are nearly out of sunlight. We're officially at sunset at 6:36. HU, though, if you're thinking about ending the game, that's a good thing for the Foresters, is we're officially made it to an official game in this one, so that's the good news for HU.
Well, it may just be that they have to finish out the 5th inning completely, and then game might be over. So the game might already be in the win column for the Foresters, but we'll see.
Yep, we'll wait until the umpires make a decision. For now, it's Nigella Reck who steps up 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Reck is 1 for 2 with a double in her last at bat, and that was back in the 3rd. Patton goes through the signs, and now Patton delivers from the windup. Reck takes first pitch up and out for ball 1. Reck has played shortstop in the first game for a little bit. She's played shortstop the entire second game. Made some really nice defensive plays and got her back going as well. Another hard hit ball right side, right at the second baseman. An easy pick and throw from Watts. 1 up, 1 down.
A little bit outside of the striker's box, which led to the awkward swing there, led to the easy ground out.
So Goheen now will step up as she takes first pitch too far outside. Goheen was on due to a hit by pitch back in the second, came around to score, and then popped out to center field in her last at bat. Pitch hit to the right side, foul ball, counts 1-1. It's Patton who's trying to keep her team just 1 run down. Patton with the delivery. That's too far outside. Count 2 balls, 1 strike. Patton taking a long time between pitches right now. It's the slowest she's moved today. Pitch. Hit right side. That is going to be a great leaping catch from Watts. She's made the first 2 plays in this inning. It looked like a hit the entire way, and she took it right away.
It was a great play from Watts there and saved South Bend a runner.
So Goheen was looking for her second hit of the day. Instead, it's the second out, and now it's up to Carly Tharp. Serves as that second leadoff, as I mentioned, to lead off the offenses. That's one of the most generous strikes that we've seen all day.
A little bit outside.
So Tharp down 0-1. Patton rocks and delivers. That one's too low. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Tharp waits. Here's the pitch. That one is too far outside. Tharp in this game has been on both times. Had a single way back in the second, a walk in the third. Looking to stay perfect at the plate. Patton ready to roll again. Here's the pitch. Too far outside. Hitters count in favor of Carly Tharp.
You need to get something going here on offense, especially if this game is going to continue, as South Bend is all the momentum right now.
Yep, they keep clawing back in. HU looking for an answer. Tharp swings at an inside pitch and fouled it off towards the Forester dugout. It's now a full count. You don't think of momentum as much in baseball as you do as basketball, like going on a long 10-0 run, but you start to outscore teams, and then you have quick innings on defense. You feel like you're in control. Tharp may have just made it a quick inning for IU South Bend, and she does, as it's a nice play from the third baseman Douglas, and it's finished across the diamond. We head to the top of the 6th. Foresters just up 1 when we come back. Looks like we're having a discussion currently about whether this game is over or not. I think the argument for IU South Bend's side as well. The Foresters just hit, so give us a chance to tie it. If you're Coach Aaron Ayler, you think, hey, it's too dark out here. Let's get out of here with win number 2 on the day.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of the fun side of sports. You think about that on how teams react to losses. I think back to the Spring Arbor buzzer beater. Huntington is on this super high, and then on the other side, you can't get much lower than what Spring Arbor is feeling after Zach Goodline puts you away. And right now, I think that IU South Bend, they just want to see this through, and it looks like
we're going to continue.
We might not see it through, but we're going to play it through because it's really dark. As mentioned, on the broadcast, it's always
really bright.
Yeah, it's always going to look a lot lighter, and it's not that light. I mean,
looks like 3 o'clock out there.
Yeah. Looks like the sun's out, and you see that a lot. Like I watch a lot like PGA Tour. They get late into those tournaments, and it looks much brighter, but it is not that bright.
No, it is not. No. That's what screen does. It's an illusion.
Well, let's play it. Let's see. Huntington maybe only going to play a 5.5 inning game. Mollenkoff back out there for another inning work. First pitch is on the outside corner, strike 1. Caitlin Allen is 1 for 2 here in game 2. Here's the pitch. Looking to bunt for a hit. She did offer at it. It's 0-1 or 0-2 now. One more shout out, the Dawson family watching in from Mishawaka, Indiana. Thanks for tuning in. Pitch outside.
We love our shout outs.
Yeah, for sure. We love everyone tuning in, whether you're for IU South Bend or Huntington. We appreciate you guys checking out FDN Sports for sure.
We put these broadcasts on for them.
Ball lifted to the left side. Nice running grab by Nigella Reck. She has been all over the place today. Man.
That's her third. There's absolutely tremendous defensive play of the game, and she has been huge.
And I'm telling you, there's so many things that could go wrong with that play. As this one's lifted up, she's going to have another chance, as this time she's unable to collect it. But if she even picks that ball up, I think it's a really tough play coming across the diamond. I mean, you can't expect her to make back-to-back.
Yeah.
That's a tough play for Rec. Probably one that she expects to make. It is going to go against Rec as an error, so now a runner on first. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. As Taylor Larson is 0 for 3 on the day.
Double play could end the inning here.
Pitch.
Possibly the game.
That one's a called strike at the bottom of the zone. Counts 0-2. You know, they do make glow-in-the-dark, like, golf balls, so maybe we could get one for the softball team as well.
I know, they are
they
are neon.
It is pretty much
glow-in-the-dark,
yeah. That's the only way I'm seeing anything. Mollenkoff's pitch. Hit hard right side. That's in front of Moore. The runner on first thought it wasn't down, and then Rec on the second chance is going to get the rare 9-6 put out. That's a big base running mistake in this game because now IU South Bend's just down to their final out.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, they could be 3 pitches away from the win.
First pitch swinging. Mason couldn't quite get to it. And if you're the Foresters, this is not the hitter you want at the plate. Raymer on the day, in this game, excuse me, he's 2 for 3 with an RBI. She's had a really nice day at the plate. Foul ball. Counts 0-2, and now Mollenkoff is just 1 pitch away.
Possibly ending the game.
Yeah.
Not for sure, but it is a possibility.
I think this will officially be the last half inning. Mollenkoff runs through the signs. Here's the pitch. Pop straight up. Gregory looking through the darkness, catches the neon ball, and the HU Foresters win both games of the doubleheader against IU South Bend. The Foresters come home. They welcome their fans to 2 wins, and it was a gritty second game performance by the entire team to take both of these home tonight, Ryan.
I mean, the second win is probably not the win that they were hoping for, especially following that dominant first game where they won 12-1, but they ended up getting the win out, and that shows the competitiveness of this HU Forester team and their willingness to compete and win.
The Foresters move to 7-5. They'll get right back to action tomorrow against Indiana Tech. We should have Erin Ayler joining us for a post-game interview, as her team is on the happy side of the scoreboard twice today. Just great performances by the pitching, and the defense came up big. Nigella Reck made a big catch late in that game, but it's the offense that carried the load again. They have been so solid through the first 12 games.
I mean, you said their average is about 6 runs per game. Well, they beat that in both games with 7 and 12. I mean, 19 total. I mean, their offense was absolutely dynamic and is the reason that, like you said, that they pulled out the 2 wins.
You know, when I was talking to Erin about this team and this season, she said, I think this is going to be a fun season for us. We've got all the pieces. We've got the sophomores now that have more experience, and they're showing that they can win games in a lot of different ways. They dominated game 1. They had to fight hard for game 2, but it's a win, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, you don't care how you win the game as long as you do win the game, and that's the way with sports is you just want to come up with as many wins as you can, and they pulled the 2 out tonight.
Yeah, we'll wait and see if we do get Erin to come up. She was reminded before the game, but sometimes coaches get a little into their post-game speeches. You know, Coach Corey Alford forgets about us sometimes. Coach Darby Maggard forgets about us sometimes. They just need a little reminder after a hard-fought win. It's hard to remember to go and talk to us after you're on such a high from winning a couple of games. But I think we're going to send it to a short break. We'll check out and see if we can get Erin Ayler on the mic, and if we can't, we'll end the broadcast, and we'll let you know what's coming up next. We'll be right back on FDN Sports.
Amazing. To me, Foresters Camps is cool.
To me, Forester Camps is a great experience. I've always had just like a genuine interest for art, and our art teacher was like passing out flyers and stuff.
And I saw that my other friends were going to do it, so I got interested in this as well.
And this is my first college trip, so I didn't really know kind of what it's like to be in college.
College really isn't as scary as I thought it would be. Definitely go. There is a lot of really cool activities and opportunities you can get here.
Try to get yourself involved. Try to talk to other people who are like at the camp as well. Talk to like your hosts and stuff.
I mean, there's no reason not to go. I mean, you get out of school if you could come here.
It's really informative on how college actually is, and that the community here is really great.
At nursing camp, we learned a lot and had a lot of fun at the same time.
I've always wanted to be a nurse since I was a kid because my mom and grandma were nurses.
So I felt really behind and scared to be majoring in nursing. The professors really make sure that you feel welcome and that you are really understanding what you're getting into if you do join. My favorite part, I think, was going to like the research center. We got to practice like CPR.
I thought I would come here and like not know, like talk to anybody. But like first day, it was like, oh, I already had a whole group of friends.
I would describe nursing camp as super fun, but also super educational. Like they took the education process and made it fun.
Everybody's gonna make you feel welcome, and you're really gonna have a good time.
My name is Mark, and I love to play the drums. I started drumming in the 9th grade. That's when I actually had a drum set. I actually started playing in my mind when I was about 5 years old. My older brother was a drummer, and he was my idol. Now for me, fortunately, the church has been a place where I could play the drums, and so I always had an outlet, even every single week, where I could be playing the drums, and so I could kind of fit it into the rest of my life with getting married, having kids, having a job. I would say that being made in the image of God means that God as creator has wired creativity into all of us. And so for me, playing the drums is my avenue for how I can express that creative aspect of being made in the image of God. And I love to do it.
Back at Huntington University, and for the Foresters, 2-for-2 day in their doubleheader against Indiana University South Bend. A tremendous couple of games for HU. They win it in blowout fashion in game one. They bounce right back and have a gritty win number 2. Ryan, you can't ask much more for this young group.
No, you can't. I mean, experience is huge for a young group, like you said, of this team. And to get 2 wins against the team, and especially one where you had to fight really hard and dig down and really compete to win a game, is huge for this group, especially coming into tomorrow's games against Indiana Tech, where you're going to face a much tougher team.
Yeah, the Foresters will be right back in action tomorrow. Not much of a break at all. They will start at 3 p.m. up in Fort Wayne against the Indiana Tech Warriors. And then right after that, they bounce into Crossroads League play next week up at Mount Vernon Nazarene. But for tonight, the Foresters victorious in both games. And for Preston Husband, Ryan Holzapple, and the rest of the FDN Sports crew, we'll talk to you next time.
That's out of here! Catch and fire. It's on the... He made it! Oh